Right, so in today's video we're going to be doing a little bit of maintenance on all the lawns, nothing too major to be honest, a little bit of cutting. I've got a lawn that I'm going to be fertilising and sort of talking about some of the do's and don'ts at this time of year, now that we're getting sort of into sort of like mid-March. So you can see at the minute this lawn isn't looking too bad. It's looking a little bit dreary today just because the sun's not really out. So whenever the sun's in, the lawn always looks a little bit more, you know, duller than it usually would, but you can see we have had a little bit of growth since last week, so we're going to get on, give this a cut today. Doesn't need another fertilisation just yet. We're probably another you know, at least 3 weeks off from putting another round of fertiliser on this lawn, so it's not looking too bad. So we'll give this a cut today, third highest setting on the Hayter, and the same thing goes for this lawn too. So we can see the colour's not too bad. I mean, the sun's not out, and like I said, if the sun was out now, it'd look much greener than it currently does. But there has been a little bit of growth, and again, the reason being is we had that, you know, application of fertiliser a couple of weeks ago. We do have the odd bare spot like this and like this, so they will be spots, obviously, that will end up overseeding when we do a little bit of a renovation on this lawn, and there's a little bit of weed grass down here, nothing too major. I mean, from a distance everything looks pretty nice, to be honest. It doesn't look too bad whatsoever. So again, just a cut for this lawn today. And just in terms of this lawn that we put the iron application on last week, you can see it has started to darken a little bit. A lot of the moss has started to actually die back now, so again, maybe another week or two before this gets scarified and has a full renovation. So I've got all my top dressing ready for the renovation when we do the back lawn, but again, that might be in about 3 weeks time. I'm waiting for Easter before I get on and do anything with this. So if you want to stick around and check out that video, you know, feel free to subscribe, because we've got a lot of renovation projects to do this year. So of all the jobs you can do to your lawn, the biggest one is cutting it on a regular basis. You can put all the products down in the way that you want, and you can do all these things like renovate it and top dress it and put compost down, but if you're going to do anything to really thicken up the lawn and get it looking green, striping up nice, then it's about that regular cutting. If if days like today, where it is a little bit colder, if they put you off coming out and doing the garden, then what's going to happen is the next time we have a sunny day, when it's, you know, lovely outside, it's warm, what will happen is the grass will be, you know, a bit too long, and when you come on and cut it again, you'll end up scalping it, and all you're going to do then is stress the lawn out. And you know, the longer you let the grass grow, the thinner it'll be underneath when eventually you come to, you know, cutting it. So regular cutting is key, even on days like today where, you know, it's not very warm, it is pretty nippy, and not a lot's really come off the actual lawn either. I'll just show you what's in the collection box now. It's like next to nothing. I mean, granted, it is only a small lawn, but you can see not a lot of grass has really come off. You can see I've only really taken off the top sort of like, you know, half a centimetre of grass, but it's what's really needed to keep this lawn looking really nice. So again, you know, with a lawn like this, it's not about getting, you know, the perfect stripes now, having the greenest lawn, but it's about just getting on, nicking the tops off, maintaining it, because then when it comes to renovating it, you know, the actual job is not going to be as overwhelming as it would be if you had something that looked like this. Now obviously that's just a very extreme example, but you know, if I was to get on and scalp that now, you'd be surprised at how thin it actually is underneath. It looks like there's loads there purely because of how long the grass is, but you know, if you maintain it, you can get in a half decent sort of state. Some people's back lawns now might be looking a little bit like this, and yeah, it doesn't look fantastic, but you know, give it a little bit of time, a little bit of work, let the temperatures come up, and the lawns will be looking brilliant. Now, I'm not just going to be cutting the lawns today. This one, I'm actually going to be getting on with a little bit of spring summer fertiliser. Now, despite it being quite cold today, a lot of that's to do with the, the wind we've got. That's going to subside this week, fingers crossed. But we do have some half decent temperatures, like sort of next week and the week after. And also, not just that, we've got a little bit of rain coming too. So what that rain's going to do is going to help water in any fertiliser that we do put down, so that is obviously released slowly into the soil, and then the plants, you know, the grass plants, can feed off of it then. Now, it is a little bit thin, but I'll sort of explain the reason as to why I'm getting on this lawn with fertiliser and not the one at the bottom. Now, you can clearly see this lawn isn't in the best of conditions, but last year what I did do is go on with fertiliser. The grass boomed on it, thickened up really nicely, and then I was able to overseed it, and overall the lawn looked pretty decent in the end. Yes, from above there are all these spaces, and with the type of grass this is, it's not gonna, you know, spread all around, you know, the actual lawn itself. Like the patch over there, it's not going to spread over the next 2 or 3 weeks and fill out that space because of the grass species. And I've been learning more about that. But, you know, I am happy with how this is at the moment. Yes, it looks a mess, but the fertiliser will give it that boost of growth. And then we'll be able to see what we're working with and how much seed we really need to be putting down when we do get into April. However, this lawn down at the bottom, I am not going to be getting on with fertiliser. I'm going to give it a cut today, because I didn't give it a cut last week, so it's been about 2 weeks now since its last one. But the reason I'm not really opting to do the same thing down at the bottom is because we're going to be doing quite a big renovation on this lawn, but that is something I'll be talking about in the next video. So for now, let's get the lawnmower, let's give this a cut, and then we'll get on with a little bit of fertiliser. Now, if I'm being really honest, not a lot came off then at all. Literally probably just skimmed some of the tops of the grass blades, nicked a few little bits off, nothing too major. You know, shows you that it's not had to feed for a while with anything with nitrogen in, but once we get down now with this fertiliser with the nitrogen content, it's going to start promoting that growth. And then, you know, by next week, we should be able to get on, give it another cut again. Something else I did notice then as well, going on with the lawnmower, is the ground has really firmed up. So we have had about a week and a half worth of, you know, dry weather, which has been massive in terms of the drying out of the soil. I can sort of see where, you know, the lawn has dropped ever so slightly since we did the renovation on this, you know, last summer. But yeah, the ground's much firmer, even over here now where it's just like mud. It's just moist now, but when I'm stepping on it, it's not really leaving footprints behind. And I can even move around with the lawnmower, and the rear roller isn't just churning up the soil. So that's a really good sign. I mean, it might go, that might all be for nothing, because this week, I think from tomorrow, it gives it just to rain for the next week and a half, 2 weeks. Hopefully not. Hopefully we've got some dry spells in there as well. But as it stands, we might be going back to square one with this, but hopefully not. But yeah, let's get on with the fertiliser and go from there. Now, in terms of doing jobs like this on your lawn, you know, getting on with fertilisers, giving it a cut, maintaining them regularly, it's this is the stuff I've done now for around about 3.5, 4 years. So I've been into lawn care probably for about 4 years now, really, and it's only been the past, you know, 2.5 years that I've had this YouTube channel, 2.5, 3 years, I think, and I've learned on the go. I mean, the channel name is Novice Gardener, and I'm not proclaiming to know everything about lawn care. So, you know, this is, if you're not confident yet getting on your lawn with a bit of fertiliser, or if your lawn still is a bit soggy and you're struggling to get on there with your lawnmower, then even though this video is posted now at the start of March, maybe the advice in this will help you when we get sort of into mid to late March, even into April, if you're a little bit uncertain, or if you want to see the results of this first before you have a go. Because not everything I'm going to do is going to be perfect, or is going to have the best results. So if you want to just see what this looks like in another week or two before you get on yourself with like fertiliser on your lawn, happy days. You know, it's the way of the world. So there you go, that's everything that I'm doing in today's video. So just cutting the lawns, getting on and fertilising the ones that do need a little bit of fertiliser, and just, you know, basic lawn maintenance is what is really sort of key at this time of year. Like I said, I'm not proclaiming to be the expert or to know anything. I mean, at the end of the day, the channel's called Novice Gardener for a reason. But if you follow along with these tips, or even if you want to see what my results are like in a week or two before you get on your lawn and put anything down, then by all means do that as well. So thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to give it a like. And if you'd like to follow along with any of these lawn care sort of journeys and renovations and whatever else that I do this year, then feel free to subscribe. And finally, thanks for watching.